Hi guys and welcome back. We are now in week 22 as you have seen with the prompt for spectacles. So with this one actually I'm going to start off with my technique and then I'm going to work my way around how and why I did this picture. But first up I start off with Schmincke masking fluid to block out the highlights, as you can probably see here as I'm going in. I'm doing the underpainting using Payne's Gray again because I just love that effect of how it came out when I was doing the blanket and the haunted house. So I decided to carry on with that effect and it worked out really well. But also, again here, I'm still sticking with my White Nights watercolors. I was actually kind of tempted to use my Winsor & Newton, but I decided against it. My voice sounds funny because I just basically woke up. I painted this yesterday, but I'm doing the voiceover today, Sunday, which is the day I'm going to release the video. So I got up a little bit early so I had time to render this and upload. So I'm sorry if my voice sounds a bit husky. But anyway, carrying on with technique. So I also hardlined this again using my Sakura Micron pens. I love them because they're really water resistant and everything, and they give a very smooth line. I haven't been able to find quite the same quality using other pens. And here in Finland we used to get Sakura Micron pens as individual pens that you could purchase, but recently for some reason they don't sell them as individuals anymore. You have to buy that pack of 6. And I don't need that many of them because most of the others are still just fine. Their nibs are just too thick. So I'm going to have to start ordering from online, but then that's added shipping costs, which makes the pen just way more expensive than it needs to be. But then I'll just have to buy in bulk, I guess. But now carrying on with this image here. So you're probably wondering what on earth, since the prompt was spectacles. As usual, I like to do it a little bit differently, where I don't want the prompt to be overtly visible. So it should have been more of a focus on the character rather than the idea. And so at first I actually had a whole different image in mind. Ooh, now my voice is starting to go. Excuse me. But I actually had a whole different image in mind of an owl in a bakery. Wow, now it's really gone. But I didn't like how the owl came out. For some reason it just wasn't working. I couldn't get the interior to look the way I wanted of the bakery. The owl was cute, but nothing else was working, so I abandoned that one fairly quick. And then it was just, I think on Thursday or Friday, somewhere in there, this guy came to mind. I just wanted to draw a frog, and so I did. And I really liked the way that this one came out, so I ran with it. And as I showed there in my sketchbook in the beginning, so that was about the 5th or 6th draft was this guy. And I liked it, so it's a fairly easy decision to go with this one instead. And again, I had kind of come up with the image before I knew what the color scheme was going to be. And I'm surprised actually it worked out fairly well here. Again, just kind of winging it, which I really shouldn't do because my color planning has actually been working really well in my thumbnails lately. So I probably should do more of that, but in this case it was just fine because I had a rough idea already from the beginning what the colors should be. There's going to be lots of green, obviously from the foliage around the frog and the lily pad and the frog itself. So the only problem was going to be how to differentiate the 3 from each other so that it wasn't all just one shade of green. And I think I achieved that fairly well. I'm quite happy with it. I don't think that there's any real clashing or too much sameness, I guess you could say. Now here I have to go back over some of my Payne's Gray because it was just fading. Again, same problem as what I had with the Haunted House, where in some parts I didn't do it dark enough, and then when I put a darker color over the top, it just fades. So I went back in and basically pumped it up a bit so that the shadows were actually visible more clearly in certain areas. But beyond that now, I'm actually going to move on as this video continues on here, I'm basically just going to be filling in the colors, which are all pretty basic. I've actually got some new updates from my Etsy, which I'd like to talk about now that I have the opportunity, since I did a slightly longer video. In my Etsy, I have lots of new pieces that I've made. I've been making jewelry a lot lately, and I've been posting quite often, and they're selling out quite well. So I thought I'd just give it another plug here since I can. And there will actually be a sale going on between June 18th to the 22nd. So that's basically Etsy's birthday. So I will be having a small sale going on then if you guys are interested. And if you'd like to see what kind of pieces there are, you can obviously go to my Etsy, the link is down below. Or if you want to see pieces in progress that are not yet ready for the shop but that are coming soon, you can check out my Instagram, which is also linked down below. So, you know, go ahead, check those out, and let me know your thoughts if you like those or not, or anything like that. I will also be making other crafts in future. I'm thinking of starting a different account for that though on Instagram, because it's completely different from what I'm doing now and would need a completely different style and feeling to it. But those will also be added to my Etsy eventually. But yeah, I'm loving this experimenting with an online shop and expanding my creativity, because I love to be creative and crafty and handsy, and other than art, I do like to make things. I used to love playing with Fimo Sculpey clay, which is why I love watching Nerdy Crafter. Jackie is just amazing. I love her videos, her tutorials. You learn a lot, and she's just funny, and I like that. And it just made me want to go back to using my Fimo clay, my Sculpey clay. And I actually might do that as well, but for now it's basically just making these beautiful necklaces and then moving on to doing some charms and crafts on the side, which I will start uploading as soon as I have some ready. And I will add the link to that as soon as I have a Instagram ready for that as well. So now back to my painting here. The newspaper part was actually something where, as you can see, I left all those slots for the pictures blank because I didn't know what I wanted to do in there. And again, just making it up on the fly. So this one that I'm working on right now, the top box, it's supposed to just be like a nice view of a good spot for vacation for frogs or something. And then the second one is the biggest acorn on record, report squirrels, or something like that. My brain was just having fun because I love Beatrix Potter. Excuse me. And it just was thinking about things that, you know, the woodland creatures would be thinking about, what would be news for them. Oh my goodness, my voice is just so like raspy now. Sorry about that. But yeah, anyway, so with all these, then the next one is a rose. So the bees were talking about how proud they were of their work on the roses, something like that. You know, in my head, these stories always have a little, like my illustrations have a little story behind them in my head, always. And so I was just thinking about them here. And so now we have the waves, it's the weather report here on the bottom. And then lastly, that yellow spot there is supposed to be a frog's eye. So something like frogs have to have their eyesight checked or whatever because it's hay fever season or something and they can get infected, or I don't know, something like that. But I loved how this came out. What do you guys think? This is a fun prompt for me. Please drop all your comments down below, like and share, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I really appreciate your support on this channel, you guys. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. And all details on what I've used in this painting are down below if you're interested. And also please check out my Etsy and Instagram. Thanks a lot, you guys, and have a great, great, great week. Okay, I will see you guys next time. Bye!